Alright guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Venom. 1981's Venom. Lee, had you seen it before?
I've only seen the remake with Tom Hardy, so I'm not familiar with the original.
There's also another horror in the swamp movie called Venom.
Okay.
This is neither of those.
No, obviously not.
So you love and know it's Cannibal Video.
No, this is it's kind of an interesting concept. It's got on the paper, it's got a whole lot going on here.
Nice.
It's got everything. It's got a great white hunter. It's got these kidnappers. It's got a kid who loves animals. A deadly snake. It's got cops. A hostage situation. What more do you want?
It covers all the bases.
So I think it's a bit slow, but I do think it's kind of fun. It's definitely old-timey. There are elements here that are totally worth the watch. But if you're not into the slow pickup of a movie, I'd say you'd probably want to pass on this one.
No, it's like old. It's not even really like a creature feature, and like its age makes its age and its Britishness. The audio sounds weird to me. It's kind of like a pet peeve of mine with certain movies from certain eras and stuff.
Yeah.
But after I got into it, it became I like something about it. I found it super charming in the way that it's like, oh, they're so concerned about this, because like now movies are just like, oh, it's the end of the world. It's this horrible thing. And this is just this little British snake movie. I'm like, okay, like. I ended up like, you're okay, buddy. I like you.
So if you've seen it or don't care, falls over to spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Venom. Let me have them spoiler-filled thoughts, Lee.
Venom, come and get 'em, Venom. Yeah.
It's very slow in the beginning.
Tonight, anytime, okay? It doesn't matter when. Now, what I've done is I've put a list down here, and this is the phone number that you can get me before.
It's a movie. This is a movie. It feels old. It feels like Willy Wonka. You're like, who is this kid? What are we doing? Oh, I've got to go downtown. I'm like, what is this movie? What are we doing?
Sorry about this traffic, old son.
No, it's all right.
And then we like introduce some random doctor. Luckily, she turns out to be like toxicology, like snake doctor.
Early for lunch, aren't we? No, you're late. Susie.
But at the beginning, I'm like, it's like 3 scenes. I'm like, who is this now? Who is this movie about? I'm like grabbing the movie and shaking it.
This is like before movies had these like opening sequences that is like with credits. It's just like a car just driving around for like, I feel like 8 minutes.
Every part of it's
and then the trailers are over and that car's like still driving. I'm like, what's happening? But like the general idea of it is this boy gets a snake and he gets the wrong one. And I would have liked it to be a thing. So the guy who runs the shop normally is sick.
Snake swap. This season on NBC.
I wanted the snake to have bitten that guy and like, oh, he's not feeling well. Let me blah blah. And then when it cuts back, like he's dead. But yeah, a black mamba that was meant to go to this like poisonologist or whatever.
Poison.
Accidentally goes to this young boy, and this like house snake from Africa goes to the poison people.
Order was for an African house snake, so you see.
You may have got his order.
And he may have got yours.
Which by itself would not have even been a movie.
Yeah.
Because the only reason this is a movie is because all this happens the same day that kid is going to be kidnapped for ransom by the housekeepers.
The naughty housekeeper, the butler, and then like a terrorist or whatever.
And the next.
Entire cast of Clue.
And you're like, okay. It's like the movie also, I think, has this train wreck kind of a feel of slowness because it did not go well through production. This was originally a Tobe Hooper movie, and he had such problems that he quit. And all the footage that he shot in his first 10 days, they were like, all right, we'll start over, I guess. And they did.
I talk to you?
You can.
Have you authority?
The two like arguable main characters, like the butler guy.
I was just thinking, I mean, this is quite a big step, isn't it?
And the terrorist guy.
Are you Jacmel? We are late, let's go.
Like hated each other.
You can tell.
And I'm like, okay, well, yes, their characters were kind of supposed to hate each other,
yes,
but apparently like they really did, and that was a big problem for them.
That's good.
So like I think all that lends to what you have here. It took years and like it's post to come out, and I'm like, okay, so a lot of fun stuff was happening behind the scenes.
Production stuff, good.
But yes, on paper, this movie has so much going on. Where you're like, okay, cool. So it's like a terrorist, is planning on kidnapping this rich hotel mogul. So this is like the young American in British version of Paris Hilton getting kidnapped. And instead of a chihuahua, it's a black mamba.
But you picture like, get off my damn plane, like this big actiony, big like intense movie.
Yeah.
It's literally like there's hours of like grandpa with a lamp and a pillow, like looking for the snake.
But grandpa is like an Alan Quartermain
He's
type.
Great.
Went along rather well. You know? I don't feel like climbing Everest yet, but there's some life in the old dog yet.
Poor old daddy.
Take a look. Yeah, poor old daddy.
He's great.
And I'm like, that's
so
you think is a lot's gonna happen there too, but he almost comes across as a fraud, where he's not this great white hunter.
Sure, but this movie feels like oh well, the snake is so amazing, that's enough. Whereas in like to a modern audience, they're gonna be like, is it just a snake? Call the snake people. What's going on? Like it's so dumb.
Yes.
From like that regard.
But being that it happens in the middle of a hostage situation that
it's
like
all
closes
mixed
down
up.
a whole British block.
Has the control vehicle arrived yet? I don't want that thing walking off and on all day.
Just coming in now, sir.
And they like shower curtain it off. See, I'm like, what is it? What?
I don't want anybody past this point. I want those bastards to think that there's just me and them alone on the damn moon.
Is that because you only have so much set?
That's why I love this movie, in a way, or like that's what I love about this movie is like the British cops and their banter, and yeah, they like tarp off the street and bring in lights, and they tow the car, all these very specific things, and yes, like there's a few like award-winning shots. One of them's when the Bobby the cop opens the door and the camera like pans across and it looks so weird.
Help!
Because camera techniques couldn't do that yet or something weird like that. But like seeing a dude with a gun, I always try to like, okay, I'm like, imagine you're British, because this is more terrifying than it would be. Like in this movie, like now, every kidnapper has a like the gun Ripley had in like Aliens, this like giant gun. And here, like a dude busts out a shotgun. It's like, whoa, what is this?
What are you doing with that gun?
You've got one.
You can't walk into the street with that. Put the gun away.
It's like the
You're a
most
madman.
industrial shotgun I've ever
Yes.
seen, though, because it's like his African safari shotgun. The shells are like gigantic.
And
I
darkest
was like, oh
Africa.
shit.
Yes.
He shoots a cop. That kind of starts off this whole show. And I'm like, all right.
Great shot of the cop trying to call for help and like dying and stuff. I'm like, good.
Repeat, Alpha 6.
Help me.
Come in, Alpha 6. Nothing heard. MP to standby.
British acting.
The best shots to me are the snake attack scenes and the hammy death acting.
Absolutely.
So like the first one is like the maid lady. She like opens the box and is like, it's like attacking her face, and she's like, ah!
Reminiscent of Kill Bill when Bud gets it from the snake. I was like, but the camera angles, again, it's similar to that door open. It's similar to something at the end. I don't know what was happening or why the scenes look like that. They're like stretched, like it's like it's a dream sequence. It's really weird. But I really like it. I really dig it.
Weirdest scene by far for me is when our lead cop, who like everyone, Bulloch or Bolton or something like that,
Some
like,
awesome
oh, he's a killer, he's a badass, blah, blah, blah. He like takes, for whatever reason, he's like, I need a motorcycle cop, a tall one, and like he takes his whole outfit, seemingly just so he can have the helmet to burst through the wall.
And the helmet?
And the helmet.
Can I ask you why, sir?
No, you may not ask me why.
Is that like what that was for?
He needs gear. He has to be incognito.
But
I don't know.
It was
so
it was
good.
an incognito to literally Kool-Aid Man through a wall. And straight away shoot a guy.
Don't shoot.
And you're like, What? And then he immediately changes back and gives that guy his clothes.
Because the plan didn't work. That scene's amazing.
Who are you? Howard Anderson, boy's grandfather.
Watch out!
When everybody runs away and they show all the doors closed because like the snake's in that room or whatever, and then like our like mustache man chauffeur like wakes up like, oh wow, this is awful. Oh, and the snake's there.
He bites his nuts.
It's so good.
I think
That's
this
amazing.
might have been America's exposure to what a black mamba is.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because every way they pitch it, it's the most deadliest, fastest, most poisonous. If it bites you, you're dead. If you get the antidote, you die half the time. I'm like, whoa, that sounds horrible.
And if they get the anti-venom?
Oh, then there's a 50-50 chance, provided the victim isn't allergic.
Yeah, this is and like honestly, maybe I'm like we've done some creature features, we talk about them. Like for me as like a modern audience member, I'm bored. I'm like, it's just a tiger. What do you mean? Did you like inject it with serum? Did you experiment on his brain? Does the tiger have the soul of like some Japanese girl? Yeah, is the tiger like anti-Semitic? Like there has to be some other element. I'm like, you're just trapped in there with an animal? Like what animal? A velociraptor or like a shitty real animal? Get rid of that.
It is indiscriminately killing, and she says something like, oh, if you're in a confined environment, it attacks non-stop or some shit, and I'm like, okay.
Terribly unpredictable. Paranoid, really. And in a confined space like that, they'll attack just whatever they can.
Because it kills his whole zoo,
No,
and I'm
but
like, it's a snake. They don't like just kill indiscriminately like that.
I try to put myself back in this 1981 British mindset though, where yes, oh man, this real animal is supernaturally terrifying.
Well, and there are no
right?
snakes on that island, so like they're probably extra scared of snakes. But you'd also think they'd be extra careful about who gets what snake.
Who knows? But yes, it's so charming in those regards. It all leads up to our villain being killed. It's just a man with a rubber snake. Just in slow motion, flopping around.
He rolls at one point where like it wraps around his neck,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I think he's not hamming anymore. I think he's choking.
He's accidentally choking on the rubber snake.
He dies for like 4 minutes straight, getting shot by snipers, bit multiple times by snakes, which ends in the like chef's kiss ultimate ending of any snake attack scene when I have to imagine it's our badass cop with his revolver just blows the snake's head off.
Yes.
And you're like, you just headshot a snake.
He explains that I am proficient with a revolver. If I need someone proficient with a shotgun, I have to call the shotgun guy.
You want a shotgun? That thing's no good.
We haven't got a shotgun, Mr. Bull. I am not proficient with a shotgun. I am what is known as an authorized...
Yeah. Like I loved this character and literally everything that he said. He was like Dr. House and Sherlock and everyone wrapped up into one. It was so unexpected. That's what got me through this. Because this whole beginning, I'm like, what are we doing? And then we get a dude come in there, hey, what's going on? What's that? His accent was awesome. His like delivery, his whole character, 10 out of 10.
Across the way.
Yes, sir.
Sergeant Glazer here will take you into the houses through the back. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, then.
There are definitely some good characters here. I love that the grandfather had like a love arc, it seems. Did you catch?
I'm gonna fuck this doctor.
Did you catch?
Yes.
So like it's right after like I think like he's pulled her from like the shooting over here, and like I think the bad guy's dead at this point, and he does this like hug and like nuzzle her head while like breathing in like you do with someone you love. He's like, oh, is that shampoo or blessings?
Oh, you smell so good.
And he's like the grandfather. And then like you're like wait a minute, was that just some weird thing? And then they kind of leave together.
Yeah.
Off your little lift.
Like, wait a minute, what?
No, when they're face down on the ground and like the dude's like he's about to execution style murder these old British people, like he like reaches out, you know, when like the hands like just a few fingers and they do like the hand holding thing.
Don't move.
And I'm like, they're bonding in this hostage situation. Yes.
So
it's such a movie. It's so much. It's not like a creature feature snake movie. It's a whole movie with this weird snake gimmick like put in there. It's amazing.
You expect though that love interest to go with the cop guy because he like was this stern badass, and then when he thought they cut off her fingers, he was like oh, we have to give it in. I can't let something happen to Mary.
So there's no need for you to hurt Dr. Stowe again. You understand that?
What the fuck her name is, and like then he's like, Grandpa's like, nope, got you, Ghost.
I took it the opposite way, where he's pissed off that like, you know, they figured out how to get some leverage, and it was like his fault that like the doctors even in there.
We didn't even know. So like that was a great little ploy where it's actually our bad guy wrapped in a blanket, faking like he's someone who needs an injection from the doctor.
Shot from the doctor.
You have to turn over now. I'm not going to hurt you.
And if those snipers were worth their salt, they could have easily killed him right there.
They're British snipers.
But I think British snipers are the elite snipers.
They only shoot their guns once a year.
They're what are they, MI6 or whatever? They get it.
You mentioned the maid dying and stuff, and that scene is really awesome because it's just like three British men of various ages and dispositions watching silently as she writhes on the floor and dies.
And one's like her love interest, it seems.
Well, two of them are. There's an okay, so she's like seduced the chauffeur, but is really in love with like Hans Evilman, the like out of town
money, power, respect guy.
Yes, it's so good. Yes, there's so much plot, there's so much movie, but that was a very striking image where she's dying and they're all just like the kid comes up.
She arcs her back like she's got a poltergeist in her.
She's like she's possessed. Yeah.
The most interesting thing about this movie, I think, has to be at the end. There's just like a little bit of words where it says like, we want to thank the British Zoo,
Black Mamba Association.
Without them, we couldn't have used this black mamba in our movie. I'm like, that was an actual black mamba?
At some points, I think, yes.
And then I'm like, 81. Did we have the ability to take poison out of things? I hope. I don't know when that stuff started. I'm not a botanist. That's plants. So I'm also not a zoologist. That's things.
You were so close.
Herpetemiologist? Is that snakes?
Entomologist?
Nah.
You don't know if that's words or bugs, though, do you?
I've come to pick up my...
What do you want? Get away from here. Go on, go away and stay away.
The point is, yes, like I think when it's in the ducts, that's a real snake, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe there's no snakes that look like a black mamba, but no one knows. So why would you have to use a real poisonous snake?
I don't know.
They can remove the glands that make the poison, though. That's a possibility.
I know they can now.
Well, in 81, they just removed the whole head of the snake.
That's my thought.
That's how they do it. Yes, I don't know. Hopefully no actors were in harm's way during this movie, because there's a lot of shots of the snake where no one's really there. It's
coming up.
What is it?
Very tight shot, just like the snake. So I feel like there's ways to use a real, even deadly snake and not put your actors in jeopardy. And then other scenes, it's just a rubber snake. It's nothing.
Yes, when it's clearly a rubber snake,
it's very funny. Yes. But at the end, we get our nice little creature feature, real creature stinger, because I'm like, the movie's not over. Oh no, what's gonna happen?
Well, Dan, let's get to work. If we get out of here in under 3 hours, I'll buy you a drink.
Might find a drop of whiskey in there, sir.
Oh
That's
my God!
The dumbest stinger ever.
Are there eggs? I hope there's eggs. Oh, there better be eggs. That's so good. And then there's eggs.
Eggs that hatched.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, it laid eggs and they hatched today?
It's very hot in those ducks. Speeds up the thing.
Oh, and they inject it with super serum, so obviously.
Now I'm on board. If it's a super snake, I'm interested.
Yeah, there was no sequel made to this yet. Who's to say? It's only been 40 years. It could
I think
come
everyone's
tomorrow.
Dead and British.
Well, you don't need the people. The snake is the only guy.
The snake's your through line here. Yeah. Yes. No, I think if you made a movie even similar to this, it would be the most boring thing ever. What, a snake? Who cares? What, a kidnapping of who? Is it Paris Hilton? I don't care.
Well, you ain't Fiona Apple, and if you ain't Fiona Apple, I don't give a rat's ass.
No, nowadays it would be like a Fast and the Furious movie, but the guy whose house they were robbing the car from on the 50th story also had like a big tank of snakes, and they burst out, and the car won't start because there's no gas in it because it's inside, and you're like, oh no, snakes! And oh no, and like security systems like lock the thing, and you're trapped in there with them.
And you're literally trapped, and someone says like, you said he had one of every snake on Earth. Well, then where's the black mamba? Oh God, it's gotten out, it's gotten loose, you know. Or maybe we do the whole thing on a plane, and we get Samuel L. Jackson.
Snakes on a plane, fuck 'em, I don't care.
Snakes on a Plane, originally titled Venom.
We've come full circle.
We've come full circle. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
They're taking the car!
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion